At the company party, she saw the Billionaire CEO leave with her best friend. She just smiled and walked away. 2 years later, he saw her with twins who looked exactly like him. Anna stood in front of Jake Wilson, her voice breaking as hundreds of people watched. "Please, just tell me the truth. Tell me you never loved me, and I will walk away." Jake's face remained carved from stone, cold and unreachable. "It meant nothing, Anna. You were a distraction during a stressful period, nothing more. I'm sorry if you gave yourself the wrong impression, but I'm asking you to leave now before this becomes more unpleasant than it already is." The woman standing beside Jake, wearing a white dress and a diamond ring, laughed. It was Anna's best friend, Mirabelle. "Sweetheart, the truth is that men like Jake come from a world where marriages are about legacy and partnership, not fleeting attractions to pretty girls who mistake kindness for something more. You should be grateful you got to spend any time in his orbit and move on with some dignity." Anna looked at Jake one last time, searching his face for any sign of the man who had held her close just 4 nights ago and whispered that she was his future. She found nothing but cold dismissal. Security guards appeared from the edges of the ballroom. Jake's mother, June Wilson, materialized beside her son, looking at Anna like something unpleasant tracked in on someone's shoe. "Please escort this young woman out. She is clearly confused and needs to leave before she embarrasses herself further." Anna felt hands on her arms, pulling her backward. The last thing she saw before the ballroom doors closed was Jake standing beside Mirabelle, his mother's hand on his shoulder, watching her leave without a single word of defense. What Anna didn't know in that moment was that she was carrying his children. Twins, a boy and a girl. And that 2 years later, when Jake finally learned the truth about what his mother had done, what he had done, he would search desperately for the woman he destroyed, only to discover that she had built a life so strong, so complete, that she didn't need him anymore. This is a story about betrayal so deep it changes who you are, about a woman who was shattered by the 2 people she trusted most, and how she forged herself into someone unbreakable, about whether cowards can become brave, whether destroyers can become builders, and whether some broken things can ever be made whole again. If you have ever trusted someone so completely that their betrayal didn't just hurt, it fundamentally changed who you are, this story is for you. If you have ever loved someone who chose comfort over courage, who threw you away like you never mattered, stay with me, because Anna's story is about to show you what real strength looks like. Before we go any further, I need you to do something for me. Hit that like button right now, and drop a comment telling me where you are watching from, or just say, "I'm with you, Dr. Phillips." I want to know who is here on this journey with me, because this story is going to take us deep into the heart of betrayal, forgiveness, and what it really means to save yourself when no one else will. Now, let me take you back to where it all began, back to when Anna Baker still believed in love. Some people's lives change gradually, with small shifts that accumulate over time, until you look back and barely recognize who you were. Anna's life changed in a single night, in a ballroom filled with strangers. Watching the man she loved announce his engagement to her best friend. But to understand how completely that moment destroyed her, you need to understand what she was before the destruction. You need to see the Anna who climbed 17 flights of stairs in the rain with hope burning bright in her chest. Anna Baker lived in a studio apartment in the city, working as the assistant manager at Cornerstone Books. The apartment was small, barely 400 square feet, but Anna had made it home. Thrift store furniture she had painted herself, shelves overflowing with books she collected from garage sales and clearance sections, a tiny kitchen where she made simple meals and dreamed of someday, maybe, having something more. She was 26 years old, and her life was modest but full. She loved her job, loved the smell of books and coffee, loved helping customers find exactly the story they needed. Her dreams were simple: save enough money to, maybe, someday, open her own bookstore. Find someone who loved her for exactly who she was. Build a life that felt real. Her mother, June Baker, was a nurse who worked double shifts at County General Hospital. Anna had grown up watching her mother sacrifice everything to give her a good life after Anna's father left when she was 5. June had taught her daughter that hard work mattered, that integrity mattered, that you treated people with kindness because that was the right thing to do. Anna believed those lessons. She believed in goodness. She believed that if you loved people honestly, they would love you back the same way. She was wrong. Anna's best friend was Mirabelle Chen. They had met during freshman year of college in an English literature class, where the professor had paired them for a presentation on the Bronte sisters. Mirabelle was everything Anna was not. Sophisticated, ambitious, from a wealthy family that gave her an apartment in the city and a trust fund she never had to think about. But somehow, they had clicked. Late-night study sessions turned into deep conversations. Mirabelle had been there when Anna's college boyfriend cheated on her, holding her while she cried. Anna had been there when Mirabelle's father had a heart attack, sitting with her in the hospital waiting room through the long night. They moved to the city together after graduation. Mirabelle got a job in marketing at a tech startup. Anna found work at the bookstore. They shared a small apartment, splitting rent, cooking dinners together, watching terrible reality TV shows, and laughing at how ridiculous people could be. Anna trusted Mirabelle completely. With her secrets, with her dreams, with everything that mattered. That trust would be the weapon Mirabelle used to destroy her. The charity book drive happened on a Saturday in March. Cornerstone Books was partnering with the Riverside Community Center to collect books for underprivileged schools. Anna had organized the entire event, spending weeks coordinating donors and volunteers. Jake Wilson showed up because his company's public relations department had committed to participating. Corporate social responsibility, they called it. Good optics for a billionaire CEO to be seen supporting literacy. Anna noticed him immediately. He was hard to miss. Tall, well-built, wearing a suit that probably cost more than her monthly rent. He moved through the community center like someone uncomfortable in his own skin, shaking hands with a smile that never reached his eyes. She watched him pick up a worn copy of a business strategy book, examine it with obvious disdain, and set it back down. Something about his dismissiveness irritated her. Anna walked over, her voice friendly but firm. "That's actually a really good book. Changed the way I think about long-term planning." Jake looked at her, really looked at her, for the first time. His expression was skeptical. "You read business strategy books?" Anna smiled. "I read everything. Business books teach you how to make money. Literature teaches you how to be human. I think both are important." Jake's skepticism shifted into something that might have been interest. "And which do you think matters more?" "Being human," Anna said without hesitation. "Money comes and goes, but how you treat people, who you are when no one is watching, that is what defines your life." Something in Jake's face changed. The corporate mask slipped just slightly, and Anna saw genuine curiosity beneath it. "That's an idealistic view." "Maybe," Anna agreed, "but I would rather be idealistic and kind than cynical and empty." Jake laughed. It was unexpected, genuine, the first real emotion she had seen from him. "I think I need someone to teach me how to be human again. Would you be willing to be my teacher?" Anna felt her heart skip. There was something about the way he looked at her, like she was the first real thing he had seen in a long time. "I don't know. Are you willing to be a good student?" "I'm willing to try." That conversation lasted 15 minutes, then 30, then an hour. They stood in the corner of the community center while the book drive continued around them, talking about everything. Literature and business and what made life worth living. Anna found herself laughing more than she had in months. Jake seemed to shed layers of corporate armor with every minute, becoming more human, more real. When the event ended, Jake asked for her number. Anna gave it to him, her hand shaking slightly as she typed it into his phone. He called her 2 days later. Their first date was at a small Italian restaurant Anna loved. Jake showed up in a full suit, looking completely out of place among the checkered tablecloths and candles and wine bottles. Anna wore a simple dress from Target, her best one, and felt simultaneously underdressed and perfectly herself. Jake had tried to impress her, talking about business deals and important people he knew. Anna had stopped him gently. "I don't care about any of that. Tell me about you, the real you, not the CEO version." He had looked at her like she had asked him to speak a foreign language. "I don't know if I remember who the real me is." "Then let's find out together." Something in Jake's expression had crumbled. Over pasta neither of them really tasted. He told her about growing up under his mother's impossible expectations, about being groomed from childhood to take over the family business, about never being allowed to just be a person, always having to be the heir, the CEO, the public face of Wilson Enterprises. "I feel like I'm performing my own life," Jake had said quietly, "like I'm watching someone else live it, and I'm just reading the lines I'm supposed to say." Anna had reached across the table and taken his hand. "Then stop performing. Be real, even if it's just with me." That was the moment Jake fell for her. Anna could see it in his eyes, the way his guard came down completely, the way he held her hand like it was the only real thing in his world. Their second date was a walk through the city at midnight. Their third date was cooking dinner together in Anna's tiny apartment, laughing when they burned the chicken and ordered pizza instead. On their fourth date, Jake kissed her. It was raining because of course it was. They were standing under an awning, and Anna was laughing about something. And Jake had just looked at her with this expression of wonder. Then he had cupped her face in his hands and kissed her like she was oxygen, and he had been drowning. When they pulled apart, both of them breathing hard, Jake had whispered against her lips, "I think I'm falling for you, and it terrifies me." "Why does it terrify you?" Anna had asked. "Because you make me feel things I didn't know I was still capable of feeling. Because you're real, in a way nothing else in my life is real. Because I don't know how to do this, how to be with someone who sees the actual me." Anna had kissed him again, softer this time. "Then we will figure it out together." But even then, even in that perfect moment, there were warning signs Anna chose not to see. After 2 months of dating, Jake still had not introduced her to anyone in his life. When Anna suggested meeting for dinner at a restaurant downtown, Jake had hesitated. "Could we go somewhere more private? I just want it to be us." When Anna had asked about meeting his family, Jake had changed the subject. "My mother is difficult. Let's wait until we are more established." When Mirabelle had suggested a double date with the guy she was seeing, Jake had said he was too busy. Every date was private. His penthouse, her apartment, remote restaurants where they would not be recognized, weekend getaways to small towns where no one knew his name. Anna had told herself Jake was protecting her. His world was cutthroat and cruel, he said. He did not want her exposed to that until she was ready. It made sense. It was romantic even. He wanted to keep what they had pure and untouched by his complicated life. She ignored the voice in the back of her mind that whispered he was hiding her because he was ashamed of her. Mirabelle was Anna's confidant through it all. Every date, every conversation, every developing feeling, Anna shared with her best friend. Mirabelle would sit on Anna's bed while Anna got ready for dates, helping her pick outfits, doing her makeup. "He's really into you," Mirabelle would say. "I can tell. He's just being careful because he's protecting you from his crazy world." Anna believed her. Why wouldn't she? Mirabelle was her best friend, the person who knew her better than anyone. What Anna did not know was that Mirabelle was reporting every detail back to Jake's mother. That June Wilson had approached Mirabelle months earlier with an offer: get close to Anna Baker, find out everything about her relationship with my son, and I will make sure you are compensated for your efforts. Mirabelle had taken the money, had betrayed her best friend for a paycheck and the promise of entry into the Wilson family's elite social circle. But Anna knew none of this. She was too busy falling in love. 8 months into their relationship, Anna was completely, irrevocably in love with Jake Wilson. She knew his coffee order, black with 1 sugar. She knew he had a scar on his left shoulder from falling out of a tree when he was 7. She knew he hated wearing ties but did it anyway because it was expected. She knew that late at night, when he let his guard down, he was funny and vulnerable and kind. She knew that when he held her like she was precious. When he looked at her like she made him remember how to be human. "I love you," Jake had said one night in her apartment. They were lying in bed, her head on his chest, his fingers tracing patterns on her bare shoulder. "You are the only real thing in my life. Everything else is performance and obligation. But this, us, it's the only time I feel like myself." Anna had tilted her head up to look at him, tears in her eyes. "I love you too, so much. I don't know what I did to deserve you," Jake had whispered, "but I'm never letting you go." Anna had believed him. had built her entire future around those words. She was about to learn that some people could look you in the eye and lie so completely that truth became a stranger. The text message came on a Wednesday, 3 days before Anna's world ended. Come to the company anniversary gala Saturday night. I have something important to ask you. Wear something beautiful. This is going to be special. Anna had stared at her phone, heart racing. Something important to ask her. At a company event, surrounded by people from his world, he was going to go public with their relationship. Maybe even propose. She had run to Mirabelle's room, phone clutched in her hand. Belle, look at this. Mirabelle had read the text, and her face had done something strange, something Anna was too excited to properly analyze. That's amazing, Anna. He's finally ready to introduce you to everyone. Do you think he is going to propose? Anna had asked, barely able to contain her excitement. Mirabelle had smiled, and if Anna had been less caught up in her own joy, she might have noticed that the smile did not reach her eyes. Maybe. You should definitely be prepared for that possibility. They had gone shopping together. Anna, who never spent money on herself, had bought a black dress that cost $200. It was simple but elegant, making her feel beautiful in a way she rarely did. Mirabelle had helped her get ready the night of the gala, doing her makeup, curling her hair, zipping up the dress. You look perfect, Mirabelle had said. Jake is going to lose his mind when he sees you. Anna had hugged her best friend, tears in her eyes. Thank you for being here for me through all of this. I don't know what I would do without you. Mirabelle had hugged her back, and Anna had not felt the tension in her friend's body, had not noticed the guilt flickering across her face. I'm always here for you, Mirabelle had said. That's what best friends are for. Anna had driven to the Metropolitan Hotel where the gala was being held. The storm had started just as she left, rain coming down in sheets. Her windshield wipers could barely keep up, but she did not care. Tonight was the night everything changed. Tonight, Jake was finally going to choose her publicly. The parking garage elevator was broken. Anna had stood in front of it, staring at the out-of-order sign, then at the door to the stairwell. 17 flights of stairs in heels and a dress that was not made for climbing. She had considered waiting for the elevator to be fixed, but excitement overrode caution. She had climbed all 17 flights, her calves burning, her breath coming hard. The dress stuck to her skin from the rain and exertion. Her carefully done makeup was probably running down her face. None of it mattered. Jake had something important to ask her. She would have climbed twice as many stairs. The ballroom was on the top floor. Anna had used the key card Jake had given her months ago to access the executive level. He had pressed it into her palm one night, his eyes serious. You're the only person I want coming home to me. This is so you can always get to me, always find me, no matter what. Now, standing outside the ballroom doors, Anna had taken a deep breath, smoothed down her dress, tried to fix her hair. Her hands were shaking with anticipation. She pushed open the doors. The ballroom was spectacular. Crystal chandeliers cast golden light across hundreds of people in designer clothes. Champagne fountains. A live orchestra. Everyone who mattered in the city's business and social circles, all gathered to celebrate Wilson Enterprises' 50th anniversary. Anna scanned the crowd, looking for Jake. She felt immediately out of place. Her $200 dress was probably the cheapest thing in the room. Her shoes were last season. She did not recognize a single face. But Jake had invited her. Jake wanted her here. That was all that mattered. Then she saw him. Jake stood in the center of the room, surrounded by people. He looked devastating in his tuxedo, commanding attention without trying. He was laughing at something someone said, his hand resting casually on someone's waist. Anna moved closer, weaving through the crowd. Her heart was racing. Any moment now, he would see her. His face would light up. He would introduce her to everyone. This is Anna, the woman I love. She got close enough to see who he was touching. The woman wore white, a fitted white dress that screamed elegance and money. Her dark hair was pulled back in a sophisticated updo. Diamonds glittered at her throat and ears. The woman turned slightly, laughing at something Jake said. Anna's world stopped. The woman was Mirabelle. Anna's best friend was standing in Jake's arms, wearing white. covered in diamonds Anna had never seen before. Before Anna's mind could process what she was seeing, someone tapped a microphone. The crowd quieted. Jake stepped up onto a small raised platform, Mirabelle beside him, his arm still around her waist. "Thank you all for celebrating this milestone with us tonight." Jake's voice carried through the ballroom, confident and warm. "Wilson Enterprises has reached heights my grandfather could only dream of when he founded this company 50 years ago. And tonight, we're excited to announce a merger that will transform our market position and secure our dominance for the next 50 years. Applause rippled through the crowd. Anna stood frozen, unable to move, unable to breathe. "But business is not the only reason this evening is special," Jake continued. His hand tightened on Mirabelle's waist. "I'm thrilled to share some personal news that makes tonight even more meaningful." No, the word formed in Anna's mind, but would not come out of her mouth. "No, this is not happening. Mirabelle Chen has agreed to be my wife." The ballroom erupted in applause and cheers. Cameras flashed. The orchestra began playing. Jake pulled Mirabelle close and kissed her. A long, tender kiss that hundreds of people witnessed and celebrated. Anna felt her knees buckle. The room tilted sideways. She grabbed a nearby table to keep from falling. This was not real. This could not be real. 4 days ago, Jake had been in her bed, telling her he loved her. 3 days ago, he had texted her to come to this party because he had something important to ask her. Someone bumped into Anna from behind, breaking her paralysis. She pushed through the crowd, moving toward the platform where Jake and Mirabelle were accepting congratulations. Anna's voice came out louder than she intended, cutting through the celebratory noise. "Jake." He turned. For 3 seconds, maybe 4, Anna saw everything in his face. Shock, guilt, agony, fear. Then his expression went completely blank. A mask so perfect she wondered if she had imagined the emotions that had flickered there. "Anna," he said. Her name came out flat, empty of everything that had filled it when he used to whisper it in the dark. "What are you doing here?" Every eye in the ballroom turned to look at her. Anna became suddenly, horrifyingly aware of how she must look. Hair ruined from the rain and the climb, makeup running, dress clinging to her body, breathing hard, looking desperate and out of place among all these sophisticated people. "You invited me," Anna said. Her voice shook despite her best efforts to control it. "You said tonight was important. You said we were going to stop pretending." Mirabelle appeared at Jake's elbow, and Anna finally saw her best friend's face clearly. There was no surprise there, no confusion, just cold calculation and something that might have been pity. "Jake, darling, who is your friend?" Mirabelle's voice was sweet as poison. "This is Anna Baker," Jake said, and Anna heard him choosing each word with surgical precision. "She coordinated some events for the company. I may have mentioned this celebration in passing." The lie was delivered so smoothly, so completely, that Anna felt reality itself shift beneath her feet. Coordinated some events, in passing, like 8 months of her life, 8 months of love and intimacy and shared secrets, could be reduced to a professional acquaintance. "I see," Mirabelle said, her eyes traveling over Anna's rain-soaked dress, her ruined makeup, her desperate expression. "How sweet that you came to celebrate with us. But this is really a private affair for family and close friends." Anna ignored Mirabelle completely. She looked only at Jake, searching his face for any sign of the man who had held her 4 nights ago. "Tell me what is happening. Tell me this is some kind of misunderstanding." "There is no misunderstanding," Jake said. His voice could have frozen fire. "Mirabelle and I have been engaged for months. If you misinterpreted our professional relationship as something more personal, I apologize for any confusion." The crowd around them had gone silent. Hundreds of people watching this collision with the fascination people reserve for disasters they are grateful not to be experiencing themselves. Anna felt something inside her chest crack so loudly she was surprised no one else could hear it. Professional. He had called what they had professional. "You told me you loved me," Anna said. Her voice rose despite her best efforts to control it. "You said I was the only real thing in your life. 4 nights ago, you were in my bed telling me I was your future." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Phones came out. people starting to record. This was too good not to capture. A nobody having a breakdown at a billionaire's engagement party. I think you have allowed your imagination to create a narrative that did not exist, Jake said. His face remained carved from stone, not a flicker of recognition or remorse. We spent some time together, yes, but it was never serious. You're a sweet girl, Anna, but you need to accept reality and move on. A sweet girl, like she was a child having a tantrum, not a woman whose entire life he had just destroyed. Mirabelle laughed. The sound was like breaking glass. Oh my God, Jake, you were going to break up with her tonight, were not you? That is what the invitation was about. Anna looked at Mirabelle, really looked at her, and saw the truth written all over her best friend's face. Mirabelle had known, had helped Anna get ready, had watched her climb into her car with hope shining in her eyes, had known exactly what Anna was walking into. How long? Anna's voice came out as a whisper. How long have you two been together? Mirabelle smiled. It was the smile of someone who had won a competition Anna had not known she was competing in. 4 months, since that weekend you went home to visit your mother and left me here alone in the city. Jake and I connected at a charity function. You were so happy when you came back, remember? Talking about how you trusted us both so much, how grateful you were to have people you could count on. The words landed like physical blows. 4 months. Mirabelle and Jake had been together for 4 months, while Anna had been falling deeper in love, while Jake had been whispering promises, while Mirabelle had been playing best friend and confidant. It was all a lie. Everything, every moment of the past 8 months had been a performance, and Anna had been the only person who did not know she was in a show. A woman's voice cut through the crowd like a knife through silk. That is quite enough. June Wilson materialized beside her son. Jake's mother was a force of nature dressed in sapphire silk. She looked at Anna the way someone might examine something unpleasant they found on their shoe. I do not know what fantasy you have constructed, June said. Each word was precisely articulated, designed to cut. But my son would never involve himself with someone so clearly beneath our family's standards. Your desperation is showing, and it is embarrassing for everyone present. Mrs. Wilson, please, Anna heard herself say. She hated the pleading in her own voice, but the words kept spilling out. Just let me talk to Jake alone for 5 minutes. Let him tell me the truth, without all of you watching. The truth? Mirabelle's laugh was cruel. Sweetheart, the truth is that men like Jake come from a world where marriages are about legacy and partnership, not fleeting attractions to pretty girls who mistake kindness for something more. You should be grateful you got to spend any time in his orbit and move on with some dignity. Anna looked at Jake one last time. She searched his face for any sign of the man who had traced patterns on her skin and told her she made him feel alive for the first time in his life. She found nothing but cold dismissal. Tell me you never loved me, Anna said. Her voice broke completely now, shattering into pieces that matched her heart. Look me in the eye and tell me these 8 months meant nothing, and I will walk away. Jake met her gaze directly. What he said next would echo in Anna's nightmares for years to come. It meant nothing. You were a distraction during a stressful period, nothing more. I am sorry if I gave you the wrong impression, but I am asking you to leave now before this becomes more unpleasant than it already is. June raised her hand. 2 security guards appeared from the edges of the ballroom, as if they had been waiting for this exact moment. Please escort this young woman out, June said. She is clearly confused and needs to leave before she embarrasses herself further. Hands gripped Anna's arms, not roughly, but firmly. She let herself be pulled backward, her legs moving on autopilot while her mind shattered into pieces too small to reassemble. The crowd parted for her like a sea, everyone stepping back to let the spectacle pass. Anna saw their faces, pity, disgust, amusement, schadenfreude, at watching someone else's humiliation. The last thing she saw before the ballroom doors closed was Jake standing beside Mirabelle. His mother's hand was on his shoulder. He was watching Anna leave, and for just a second, just a heartbeat, she saw something that looked like regret cross his face. Then the doors closed, and Anna was in the hallway. The security guards released her arms. Ma'am, one of them said, not unkindly. Do you need help getting to your car? Anna shook her head. She could not speak. If she opened her mouth, she would scream, and she did not think she would ever be able to stop. She walked to the stairwell in a daze, walked down 17 flights of stairs that she had climbed with such hope. Each step felt like descending into a nightmare she could not wake up from. The parking garage was cold and silent. Anna made it to her car, fumbled with her keys, dropped them, picked them up with shaking hands, unlocked the door. She sat in the driver's seat and stared at nothing. The man she loved had just announced his engagement to her best friend, had called their 8-month relationship a distraction, had looked her in the eye and lied so completely that she would never be able to trust her own perception of reality again. Mirabelle, her best friend, had been sleeping with Jake for 4 months, while helping Anna get ready for dates, while listening to Anna talk about how much she loved him, while smiling and offering advice and pretending to care. Anna's phone buzzed, text messages flooding in. She looked at the screen with numb detachment. Unknown numbers, people who had been at the party. Some were cruel. That was pathetic. Have some self-respect. Some were pitying. I'm so sorry that happened to you. One was from a number she did not recognize. There was a video attached. Anna opened it before she could stop herself. It was her, standing in the ballroom, confronting Jake and Mirabelle, her voice rising as she insisted Jake had told her he loved her. The crowd's gasps, Mirabelle's cruel laughter, Jake's cold dismissal. The caption read, "Delusional girl crashes billionaire's engagement party claiming they were dating. The cringe is real." The video already had thousands of views. The comments were vicious. She really thought he would choose her over that gorgeous woman in white. This is what happens when you reach above your station. Secondhand embarrassment is killing me right now. Anna closed her phone. She sat in her car in the parking garage and understood with perfect clarity that her life as she knew it was over. She had been destroyed, publicly, completely, irrevocably destroyed, and she had no idea that the destruction had only just begun. Anna did not remember driving home. She must have, because somehow she ended up parked outside her apartment building. The rain had stopped. The streets were empty. It was 3 in the morning. She climbed the stairs to her apartment, each step requiring conscious effort. Her body felt like it belonged to someone else, like she was watching herself from a distance, this broken girl in a ruined dress. Anna unlocked her apartment door and stepped inside. All of Mirabelle's things were gone. The realization hit her like a physical blow. Mirabelle's shoes that usually cluttered the entryway, her jacket on the coat rack, her coffee mug in the sink, all of it, gone. Anna walked to Mirabelle's room. Empty. The furniture was still there. It came with the apartment, but every personal item had been removed. The closet was empty. The drawers were empty. It looked like no one had ever lived there at all. On the dresser, there was a note. Anna picked it up with shaking hands. "Sorry it had to be this way, but you were never going to fit into his world. Better you found out now. The apartment is yours. I have already spoken to the landlord. Good luck, Anna. I hope you find someone more your speed. Mirabelle." Anna read the note 3 times. Each word was carefully chosen. Not apologetic exactly, more like Mirabelle was doing Anna a favor by showing her the truth. Good luck, Anna. Like they had been casual roommates instead of best friends for 6 years. Anna walked to her own room, sat on her bed, stared at the wall. Her phone would not stop buzzing. More texts, more comments on the video that was apparently going viral. Her humiliation spreading across the internet for strangers to dissect and mock. Anna turned off her phone. She sat in the silence of her empty apartment. The place she had shared with someone she thought was her best friend. The space that had felt like home, and now felt like the scene of a crime. She had given Jake everything. 8 months of her life, her heart, her trust, her body, her dreams of a future. She had believed him when he said she was the only real thing in his life. She had trusted him with the most vulnerable parts of herself, and he had thrown her away like garbage in front of hundreds of people. Mirabelle had betrayed her with the same man, had smiled to her face while stabbing her in the back, had helped her get ready for the night she knew would destroy Anna. Anna sat in her dark bedroom and felt something inside her die. The part of her that believed in love, the part that trusted easily, The part that thought goodness would be rewarded and honesty reciprocated. That version of Anna Baker was gone. She had died in a ballroom surrounded by strangers, murdered by the two people she loved most. Anna did not know yet that she was pregnant, did not know that in 6 weeks she would take 3 tests that would all say positive, did not know that Jake's betrayal had left her with 2 tiny lives growing inside her body. She just knew that she would never trust anyone completely again. That love was a weapon people used to destroy you, that she was utterly, completely alone. The sun rose on a city that did not care about her pain. Anna lay in her bed, still wearing the dress she had bought with such hope. She did not cry. She felt too broken for tears. Some betrayals destroy you slowly, others detonate in a single moment, and you spend the rest of your life trying to remember who you were before the blast. Anna Baker's life had ended in that ballroom. Whatever came next would have to be built from the ruins. If this story is hitting you hard right now, if you have felt this kind of betrayal that rewrites your entire reality, I need you to hit that subscribe button, because Anna's story is far from over. Drop a comment telling me where you are watching from. Let me know if you are Team Anna. Say I'm with you, Dr. Phillips, if you are still here with me, because what comes next is going to show you what real strength looks like. Days blurred together after that night. Anna called in sick to work, unable to face the world. Her boss, Harvey Miller, was understanding. "Take all the time you need," he had said gently. "I saw the video." "I am so sorry, Anna." Everyone had seen the video. It had gone viral. Hashtags trending. Think pieces written about the audacity of ordinary women thinking they could land billionaires. Her humiliation dissected by strangers who did not know her and did not care. Anna stopped looking at her phone, stopped checking social media, stopped reading the comments that called her delusional, desperate, pathetic. She stayed in her apartment and tried to figure out how to keep existing when part of her had died. Mabel Rodriguez, who managed the cafe at Cornerstone Books, showed up at Anna's apartment on day 4 with groceries and determination. "You need to eat," Mabel had said, pushing past Anna into the apartment. "You need to shower. You need to keep living, even though it feels impossible." Anna had started crying then, the first real tears since that night. "I gave him everything, Mabel. How could I be so stupid?" Mabel had pulled her into a fierce hug. "You were not stupid. You were in love. They are the ones who are broken, not you. Jake Wilson and that snake Mirabelle, they are the ones who should be ashamed, not you. But I am the one everyone is laughing at. Let them laugh. Their opinions mean nothing. You survived this. That means you're stronger than all of them combined." Mabel had stayed, making sure Anna ate, making sure she showered, making sure she did not completely fall apart. But Anna knew she was falling apart anyway, just slowly, in pieces small enough that maybe no one would notice. 2 weeks after the party, Anna received an eviction notice. Not exactly an eviction, just a notice that her lease was up for renewal and the rent was increasing significantly. Anna stared at the number. She could not afford it, not even close. She had been splitting rent with Mirabelle, who came from money, and paid 2/3 of their monthly cost without thinking about it. Alone on Anna's salary, the apartment was impossible. She had 30 days to find somewhere else to live. Anna spent her days looking at studio apartments she could barely afford, tiny spaces in bad neighborhoods, downgrading her entire life because of their betrayal. She went back to work after a week, faced the pitying looks from coworkers who had seen the video, endured the customers who recognized her, and whispered. Harvey called her into his office. "Anna, I want you to know that what happened does not change how I see you. You are still the best employee I have. This bookstore is lucky to have you." "Thank you," Anna had whispered, fighting back tears. "You are stronger than you know, and you are going to survive this." Anna had nodded, not believing him. 6 weeks after the party, Anna woke up violently ill. She barely made it to the bathroom before vomiting. When it passed, she lay on the cool tile floor, exhausted. This had been happening for 3 days. At first, she thought it was stress, grief manifesting physically, but it was getting worse, not better. A co-worker at the bookstore, an older woman named Patricia, had noticed Anna running to the bathroom. "Honey, when was your last period?" Anna had frozen, tried to remember, realized with creeping horror that she could not. That afternoon, Anna went to the pharmacy, bought 3 different pregnancy tests with shaking hands. The cashier had given her a knowing look that made Anna want to disappear. She took the tests in a public restroom because she could not wait to get home. All 3 were positive within seconds. Anna sat on the bathroom floor of a drugstore, staring at 3 pink lines that were rewriting her future. She was pregnant with Jake Wilson's baby, the man who had destroyed her, the man who had called their love nothing, the man who was engaged to her former best friend. Anna made an appointment with a doctor, sat in the waiting room surrounded by happy couples, conspicuously alone. The ultrasound showed 2 distinct heartbeats. "Twins," the doctor said, smiling. "Congratulations, you are about 8 weeks along. Due in late spring. Twins." Anna was carrying Jake Wilson's twins. The doctor's smile faded when she saw Anna's expression. "Is everything okay? Do you have support? A partner? Family?" Anna's voice came out flat. "Just me. It is just me." The doctor's concern deepened. "Carrying twins is challenging. You are going to need help. Is the father involved?" Anna almost laughed. The sound would have come out broken and slightly hysterical. "No, the father is not involved. The father does not even know I exist." After the appointment, Anna sat in her car and put her hands on her still flat stomach. Inside her, 2 tiny lives were growing. Jake's children, part of the man who had shattered her. She had a choice to make, and she knew what the right thing to do was, even though everything in her screamed not to. Jake deserved to know he was going to be a father, not for his sake, for the babies. They deserved a chance at having a father, even if that father had proven himself to be a coward. Anna spent 2 days working up the courage to call. She dialed Jake's office number, her heart pounding. "Wilson Enterprises, how may I direct your call?" "Jake Wilson's office, please." A pause. "May I ask who is calling?" "Anna Baker." Another pause, longer this time. "1 moment, please." Anna was transferred. The phone rang 3 times before a woman answered. "Mr. Wilson's office, this is Mia Patterson." "Hi, I need to speak with Jake." "It is urgent." Mia's voice went cold. "I am afraid Mr. Wilson is unavailable. May I take a message?" "This is Anna Baker. I really need to speak with him. It is personal and important. Mr. Wilson has asked not to be disturbed by personal calls from you, Ms. Baker." "Please," Anna said, hating how desperate she sounded. "Just tell him I called. Tell him I need 5 minutes. It is really important." "I will pass along the message," Mia said, in a tone that made it clear she would do no such thing. The line went dead. Anna tried again the next day, and the day after that. Each time, Mia screened the call. Each time, the message was the same. "Mr. Wilson is unavailable." Anna sent emails to every address she could find. His personal email bounced back as blocked. His work email auto responded that it did not accept messages from external sources. She created a new email account to get around the block. Wrote carefully, "Jake, I know you do not want to hear from me, but I am pregnant with twins. Your children. You have a right to know. Please call me. Anna." She hit send, waited, checked her inbox obsessively. The email was never answered. Anna decided to go to his office in person. It was humiliating, but she was out of options. She showed up at the Wilson Enterprises building, approached the security desk in the marble lobby. "I need to see Jake Wilson. It is urgent." The security guard checked a list. "I am sorry, ma'am. You are not on the visitor registry. Can you just call up to his office? Tell him Anna Baker needs to speak with him." The guard made the call. Anna watched him listen to whoever was on the other end. His expression shifted to pity. "I am afraid Mr. Wilson is unavailable and requests you leave the premises." "I am pregnant with his children," Anna said, her voice rising. "He needs to know." The guard's expression became uncomfortable. 2 more security guards appeared from nearby posts. "Ma'am, I am going to have to ask you to leave. If you refuse, we will have to escort you out." People in the lobby were staring. Anna felt her face burn with humiliation. She left before they could forcibly remove her. That evening, Anna's phone rang. Unknown number. She answered, hope flaring. Hello, Ms. Baker, this is Mia Patterson, Mr. Wilson's executive assistant. Finally, Anna's words came out in a rush. Did he get my messages about the pregnancy? There was a pause. When Mia spoke again, her voice was ice. Ms. Baker, I am calling to inform you that Mr. Wilson considers your brief involvement concluded. Any further attempts to contact him will be treated as harassment with legal consequences. Anna felt the hope drain out of her. I am pregnant with his children. Does that not matter? If you are experiencing financial difficulties as a result of your poor choices, Mr. Wilson is not responsible. I suggest you seek assistance elsewhere. The words landed like slaps. Poor choices. Like loving someone was a moral failing. Please, Anna said, her voice breaking. I am not asking for money. I just think he deserves to know he is going to be a father. Mr. Wilson has made his position clear, Mia said coldly. This is your final warning. Any further contact will result in legal action. Do you understand? I understand, Anna whispered. Good. I hope you will do the right thing and move on with your life. Goodbye, Ms. Baker. The line went dead. Anna sat in her apartment, hands on her stomach, and understood completely. Jake Wilson wanted nothing to do with her or their children. He had made that crystal clear. She was alone, truly, completely alone. That night, Anna made a decision that would define the rest of her life. She would raise these babies by herself. She would never ask Jake for anything. She would build a life so strong that her children would never feel the absence of a father who did not want them. Anna spoke to the lives growing inside her. I will give you everything. I will love you enough for 2 parents. I will make sure you never feel unwanted, because you are the most wanted children in the world, even if it is just me doing the wanting and loving. She remembered her grandmother's cottage, the little house in Haven's Rest, a coastal town 4 hours away. Her grandmother had died 2 years ago and left it to Anna. She had never sold it, never planned to move there. Now it represented salvation, a place to start over where no one knew her story, where her children could grow up without everyone knowing their mother's viral humiliation. Anna gave notice at the bookstore. Harvey hugged her, tears in his eyes. You are going to be okay. You are stronger than you know. She packed everything she owned into her car. Left behind the city where she had been destroyed, Anna drove through the night, heading toward a future she would have to build from nothing. She arrived in Haven's Rest at dawn. The small coastal town appeared through morning fog, salt air and seagulls and houses that had weathered decades of storms. Her grandmother's cottage sat at the end of a gravel road, small, run down. The roof leaked and the plumbing groaned, but it was hers, fully paid for, a refuge. Anna stood in the doorway of the cottage and made a promise to her unborn children. We are going to be okay. I do not know how yet, but I will make sure of it. I will work as hard as I need to. I will sacrifice whatever I need to. You will be loved and safe and whole. She did not know that Jake would spend years searching for her, that his mother would confess on her deathbed, that everything he thought he knew would be revealed as lies. Anna just knew she had to survive, and that she would, because that is what love looks like. Not grand gestures or pretty words, just showing up every single day. No matter how hard it gets. Anna Baker stood in the doorway of her grandmother's cottage, 3 months pregnant with twins, and took inventory of what she had left. One beat-up sedan packed with everything she owned, $400 in her bank account, a cottage that smelled like mildew and had water stains on every ceiling, no job, no health insurance, no support system except a mother who was barely making ends meet 4 hours away, and 2 babies growing inside her who would depend on her for absolutely everything. The weight of it should have crushed her. Maybe it would have crushed the old Anna, the girl who had climbed 17 stairs with hope in her heart, but that girl was dead. The woman standing in this doorway was someone new, someone harder, Someone who had learned that survival was not optional when you had children counting on you. Anna walked into the cottage and got to work. The first week was about making the space livable. Anna scrubbed mold from bathroom tiles while fighting waves of nausea. She patched holes in the walls with spackle and determination. She fixed the leaking roof herself, climbing up there despite being pregnant because she could not afford to hire anyone. Her mother June came for a weekend to help. She took one look at Anna and wrapped her daughter in a hug that said everything words could not. "Baby girl, you are going to be okay." Anna had broken down then, sobbed into her mother's shoulder like she had not allowed herself to do since that night. "I do not know if I can do this, Mama. I am so scared." June had held her tighter. "You can. You are my daughter. We come from a long line of women who survive impossible things. This is just one more impossible thing you are going to survive." They worked together that weekend, cleaning, repairing, making the cottage into something that resembled a home. When June left, Anna stood in the middle of the small living room and felt the tiniest spark of hope. Maybe she could do this. Maybe. Anna needed work immediately. The $400 would not last long. She had medical bills piling up from prenatal appointments. She needed to eat, to keep the utilities on, to prepare for 2 babies who would need everything. She found a job waitressing at Harbor View Diner within 3 days of arriving in Haven's Rest. The owner, Patricia Donnelly, was a woman in her 60s who had seen enough of life not to ask too many questions. "You have experience?" Patricia had asked. "Some. I worked in a bookstore, but I waitressed through college." Patricia had looked at Anna's growing belly, barely visible under a loose shirt. "You pregnant?" "Yes, ma'am." 3 months. "The father around?" "No, ma'am." Patricia had studied her for a long moment. Then she had handed Anna an apron. "You start tomorrow. 6-hour shifts, 6 days a week. Tips are yours to keep. Work hard, and we will get along fine." "Thank you," Anna had whispered, fighting tears. "Thank you so much. Welcome to Haven's Rest, honey. People here mind their own business. You will fit right in." Anna worked at the diner during the day. The work was physically demanding, standing for hours, carrying heavy trays, smiling at customers even when her back ached and her feet swelled. But it was money. $20 in tips one day, $35 the next. Every dollar went into a jar she kept hidden in the cottage. In the evenings, Anna found work answering phones for a local insurance agency. The owner, Carlos Mendez, let her work from home once he saw how far along she was. "You should not be on your feet all day in your condition," Carlos had said. "Take the calls from home. Same pay." Anna had almost cried at the kindness. She also picked up weekend work cleaning vacation rentals, scrubbing toilets and changing sheets, while her body transformed into something she barely recognized. 3 jobs, 17-hour days. Exhaustion so profound she fell asleep standing up, but the jar of money grew. Slowly, a few dollars at a time. The pregnancy was brutal. Morning sickness that lasted all day, every day. Anna would wait tables while fighting the urge to vomit, would run to the bathroom between customers, would come back pale and shaking and force herself to keep smiling. She lost weight instead of gaining it. The doctor was concerned. "You are carrying twins. You need to be eating more, gaining weight. These babies need nutrition." Anna was trying, but she could barely keep food down. And when she could eat, she was choosing between feeding herself and saving money for when the babies came. The physical changes were overwhelming. Her body swelling until her shoes did not fit, walking to work in cheap flip-flops even when it was cold. Her back aching constantly from carrying twins while standing all day. Some days, Anna would collapse on her bed after work and cry from sheer physical exhaustion and pain. But then she would put her hands on her belly and feel the babies move. Tiny flutters at first, then real kicks. And she would remember why she was doing this. Not for her, for them. "I love you," she would whisper to her growing belly. "I love you so much, and I am going to make sure you have a good life. I promise." At 5 months pregnant, Anna met Mabel Rodriguez. They were both at a free prenatal class at the Havens Rest Community Center. Mabel was 7 months pregnant with her third child. Single mother, working 3 jobs, raising 2 kids alone. She sat down next to Anna before the class started. First one? Twins, actually, Anna said. Mabel's eyes widened. Girl, you are going to have your hands full. I am barely surviving with 2, and about to add a third to the chaos. They had laughed together. It was the first time Anna had laughed since that night. After class, Mabel had invited Anna for coffee. They sat in a cheap diner, and Anna found herself telling this stranger her story. Not all of it, just that she was alone, that the father was not involved, that she was terrified. Mabel had reached across the table and squeezed her hand. You are going to be okay. It is going to be hard, harder than anything you have ever done, but you are going to survive it. How do you know? Because you are still here, still fighting. That means you are a survivor. They became friends, the kind of friendship born from shared struggle and mutual understanding. Mabel would check on Anna, bring her groceries when she knew Anna was choosing between food and saving money. Watch out for her in the way women who understand hardship watch out for each other. You are not alone anymore, Mabel told her. You have got me now. Anna cried. She seemed to cry so easily these days. Thank you. That is what we do. We survive together. 6 months into the pregnancy, everything went wrong. Anna was cleaning a vacation rental, scrubbing a bathtub. She stood up too quickly and felt a sharp pain in her abdomen, then warmth between her legs. She looked down and saw blood. Anna managed to call 911 before the pain got worse. The ambulance arrived. The paramedics were calm and professional, but she could see concern in their faces. At the hospital, the doctor did an ultrasound. His expression was grave. You are experiencing placental complications. The doctor's voice was gentle but firm. Likely stress-induced. Baby B is showing signs of distress. Baby B. That was how they referred to the smaller twin. The girl. What does that mean? Anna asked, terror making her voice shake. It means you need immediate bed rest. Strict bed rest. No work, minimal activity. If you continue at your current pace, you could lose one or both babies. The words hit like a freight train. I cannot stop working. I need the money. I have bills. Miss Baker, if you do not stop working, you might not have babies to support. Anna lay in the hospital bed and called her mother. June Baker arrived within 12 hours. She took one look at her daughter hooked up to monitors and made a decision. I am staying. I will take family leave from the hospital. I will work here in Havens Rest. You just focus on keeping those babies safe. Mama, you cannot. Your job. My job will be there when I get back. You and my grandchildren are more important. Anna had cried. Again. Everything made her cry these days. I am so sorry. I am sorry I messed up my life. Sorry you have to fix it. June had taken her daughter's face in her hands. You listened to me. You did not mess up your life. A man destroyed you, and you are surviving it. You are strong and brave and doing everything right. I'm proud of you. Do you hear me? I am so proud of you. 2 months of bed rest. Anna confined to the cottage, lying in bed or on the couch, watching the ceiling and counting the days. June worked shifts at Havens Rest Hospital to keep money coming in. Patricia from the diner sent food. Mabel visited, bringing her kids to keep Anna company. But Anna felt useless, watching her mother work herself to exhaustion, watching her savings drain. Unable to do anything except lie still and pray the babies kept growing. The fear was constant. Every twinge made her think she was losing them. She monitored their heartbeats obsessively with a Doppler the doctor had given her, especially baby B Nala, though Anna did not know her name yet. The smaller twin, the one at risk. Please stay with me, Anna would whisper, hands on her belly. Please keep fighting. I need you. Your brother needs you. And somehow, miraculously, both babies kept growing. At 34 weeks, Anna woke to contractions. Mama, she called out. Something is wrong. June checked. We need to go. Now. The drive to the hospital was terrifying. Contractions coming faster, Anna gripping her mother's hand so hard she left marks. At the hospital, doctors and nurses swarmed, preparing for premature twins, explaining that the baby's lungs might not be fully developed, that they would likely need the NICU. Anna barely heard them. The pain was beyond anything she had imagined. Wave after wave of contractions that felt like her body was tearing apart. June held her hand through all of it. "You can do this, baby girl. You are the strongest person I know." At 11:47 p.m., Nathan was born. 4 pounds, 2 ounces, screaming immediately, tiny fists fighting the air. "It is a boy," the doctor announced. Anna glimpsed him for 1 second, tiny and red and perfect. Then they whisked him away to check his breathing. 3 minutes later, at 11:50 p.m., Nala was born. 3 pounds, 14 ounces, silent at first, terrifyingly silent. "Why is she not crying?" Anna screamed. "Why is she not crying?" Then a small sound, like a kitten mewing. "It is a girl," the doctor said, "but she is in distress. We need to get her to NICU immediately." Anna reached for her babies, desperate to hold them, but they were already being rushed out of the room, nurses moving with practiced urgency. "You can see them soon," someone told her. "Right now, they need medical intervention." Anna lay on the delivery table, being stitched up, while her children fought for life in another room. The NICU was Anna's nightmare for 3 weeks. Nathan and Nala in separate incubators, covered in wires and tubes, monitors beeping constantly, their tiny bodies working so hard just to breathe. Nathan's lungs were underdeveloped. He needed oxygen support. His levels kept dropping, alarms going off, nurses rushing over. Nala was even smaller, even more fragile. Her heart rate was unstable. She could not regulate her body temperature. She was losing weight instead of gaining it. Anna lived in the hospital waiting room. She had been discharged after 2 days, but she refused to leave. She slept in chairs. She pumped breast milk every 3 hours because the babies could not nurse yet. She sat by their incubators and talked to them, read to them, sang to them, willing them to keep fighting. "You are so strong," she would tell Nathan. "You are a fighter. Just keep breathing, baby boy." To Nala she would whisper, "I need you to stay with me, sweet girl. Your brother needs you. I need you. Please, keep fighting." The medical bills arrived while Anna was still in the NICU. $67,000 for the delivery, $3,400 per day for each baby in the NICU. Anna sat in the hospital cafeteria and stared at numbers that might as well have been $1 million. She had no insurance, no savings, no ability to pay. A social worker sat down across from her. "We can discuss charity care, payment plans. There are options." Anna nodded numbly. "Just tell me what I need to do." The social worker was kind. She helped Anna fill out forms, apply for assistance, set up a payment plan that would take the rest of Anna's life to pay off. It does not matter, Anna thought. Nothing matters except them surviving. Nathan came home after 14 days in the NICU. 5 pounds, breathing on his own, eating from a bottle. Anna held her son for the first time, really held him without wires and tubes. He was so small, so perfect. He had Jake's eyes, that same deep brown that had looked at her with love before it looked at her with dismissal. She pushed away thoughts of Jake. Nathan was hers, only hers. Nala took longer, 21 days in the NICU before she was stable enough. 4 pounds, 2 ounces when she finally came home. Still so tiny, Anna was terrified to hold her. But when she did, Nala opened her eyes and looked right at Anna. Jake's eyes, serious and watchful, taking in everything. "I am your mama," Anna whispered, "and I love you more than anything in this world." Anna brought both babies to the cottage. Her mother helped for 2 more weeks. Then June had to return to work, to her own life. And Anna was alone with 2 premature newborns. The first 3 months were the hardest thing Anna had ever experienced. Sleep deprivation beyond anything she could have imagined. The babies ate every 3 hours, around the clock. Just as Anna finished feeding one, the other would wake hungry. Some nights, They both wanted to eat at the same time. Anna would sit on the couch with a twin in each arm, bottles propped, crying from exhaustion while her babies cried from hunger. Cluster feeding periods where they wanted to eat every hour. Anna's body broken from delivery, her breasts cracked and bleeding from trying to pump enough milk. She got mastitis when the twins were 6 weeks old. Fever and chills and pain so severe she could barely function. But she had to function because no one else was going to care for her children. Anna fed them while delirious with fever, changed diapers while her body screamed in protest, rocked them to sleep when she could barely stand. And through it all, she loved them so fiercely it hurt. When Nathan smiled at her for the first time, Anna cried. When Nala grabbed her finger and held on tight, Anna felt her heart expand. These were her babies, her family, the only family that mattered. At 3 months postpartum, Anna had to go back to work. She had no choice. The bills were overwhelming. Her savings were gone. She needed income. Patricia at the diner let her bring the twins to work. Anna set up a playpen in the back room. Between customers, she would run back to check on them, feed them, change them, soothe them when they cried. Her tips decreased. Customers complained about crying babies. Anna was slower, distracted, always splitting her attention. But Patricia did not fire her. Babies belong with their mothers, Patricia said. Anyone who has a problem with that can eat somewhere else. In the evenings, Anna would strap both babies into carriers and work on something that had started as a desperate idea: event planning. Specifically, custom invitations and decorations. She had always been artistic. In college, she used to design invitations for friends' events. It was something she could do from home, on her own schedule, while caring for the twins. Her first client was a customer from the diner, a woman named Lucy planning a small wedding. Lucy had seen some sketches Anna had been working on during her break. "Those are beautiful. Could you design my wedding invitations?" Anna had quoted $50, terrified Lucy would say no. Lucy had agreed immediately. "That is a steal. When can you have them done?" Anna had worked during the twins' naps, during the precious hours when both babies slept at the same time. Creating something beautiful from cardstock and creativity, Lucy posted photos on social media, tagged Anna. Suddenly, Anna had 3 more customers. Then 5, then 10. Overton Events was born from desperation and determination. Anna expanded beyond invitations. She started coordinating entire events, small weddings, birthday parties, anniversary celebrations. She had an eye for creating beauty on a budget. She knew how to make ordinary things look magical because she had spent years stretching every dollar. Word spread through Haven's Rest. Anna Baker could plan your dream event for half what the fancy coordinators in the city charged. By the time Nathan and Nala were 1 year old, Anna had saved enough to rent a small office downtown. Their first birthday was simple, just Anna, June, and Mabel with her kids. A grocery store cake, 1 candle for each baby. Anna had sung happy birthday while tears streamed down her face. Tears of gratitude that they had survived, that she had survived. "Look at you," Mabel had said, hugging Anna tight. "You did it. You built a life." "We are still building," Anna had replied. "But, yeah, we are going to be okay." By the time the twins were 2, Overton Events was thriving. Mabel had joined as business partner, managing the catering side. They rented a bigger office, hired an assistant. Anna was not rich, but she was stable. She could pay her bills, feed her children, give them a good life. She had done it alone, built something real from absolutely nothing. The twins were her world. Nathan, fearless and energetic, always moving, always exploring. He loved dinosaurs and space, would ask endless questions about planets and extinction events. Nala was quieter, more thoughtful. She loved to draw, would sit for hours with crayons and paper, creating pictures that somehow captured emotional truths. They were best friends, protected each other fiercely, had their own twin language that Anna could not always understand. When Nathan had nightmares, Nala would climb into his bed and hold him. When Nala was scared of the dark, Nathan would tell her stories until she fell asleep. They had each other, and They had Anna, and Anna made sure they knew that was enough. The question came when they were 3 years old. Nathan asked it while Anna was tucking him in. "Mama, why do not we have a daddy?" Anna's heart broke. She had known this question was coming, had prepared for it, but nothing could have prepared her for the look in her son's eyes. "Your father was not strong enough to love you the way you deserve," Anna said gently. "But that is his loss, not yours. You and Nala are my everything. Do we have a dad somewhere? You have me," Anna said firmly. "And I am enough. We are enough together." Nathan had accepted this, but Anna saw the hurt in his eyes, saw him watching other kids at the park with their fathers. Nala asked about it too, in her serious way. "Did our dad not want us?" Anna had knelt down to her daughter's level. "Your dad does not know you. If he knew you, he would love you, because you are incredible. But he made bad choices, and sometimes we cannot fix those. Is he a bad person?" Anna had considered her answer carefully. "He is a person who was not brave enough to do the right thing. But you and Nathan, you are good and kind and brave. That is what matters." Both twins seemed to accept this explanation, but Anna knew the questions would come again, knew her children would always feel the absence of a father who chose not to know them. And she hated Jake for that, for hurting not just her, but these innocent children who deserved better. Anna taught her children that family was what you built, not what you were born into, that love was action, not words, that trust had to be earned through consistency, not promised through empty gestures. She raised them to be strong, to be kind, to know their worth, and she built walls around her own heart so thick that nothing could penetrate them. She dated no one, trusted no one with anything that mattered, focused entirely on her children and her business. The girl who had believed in love was gone. The woman who replaced her knew better. If you are inspired by Anna's strength right now, if you are amazed by what she built, from nothing with 2 babies in her arms, I need you to hit that subscribe button. This woman was betrayed, abandoned, left with nothing, and she built an empire anyway. Drop a comment. Or are you watching from? Have you ever had to rebuild your entire life? Say I'm with you, Dr. Phillips, if this story is touching your heart. While Anna was building a life in Haven's Rest, Jake Wilson's perfect world was falling apart. 18 months after destroying Anna, Jake came home early from work to surprise his wife with dinner reservations. He had been trying to make the marriage work, trying to feel something for Mirabelle beyond obligation, trying to convince himself this was what happiness looked like. He used his key to enter the penthouse, heard voices from the bedroom, Mirabelle's laugh, a man's voice. The walk down that hallway was karma in its purest form. Jake opened the bedroom door to find Mirabelle in bed with Harvey Thornton, his business rival, his competitor for a major contract. The irony was not lost on him. Being destroyed the way he had destroyed Anna, Mirabelle did not even have the decency to look ashamed. "You are home early." Jake looked at his wife, at the man in their bed, at the life he had chosen over Anna. "How long?" His voice was eerily calm. Mirabelle shrugged. "Does it matter? Our marriage was a business arrangement anyway. I thought you understood that. We have been married for a year and a half, and I have been seeing Harvey for most of it." Mirabelle sat up, pulling the sheet around herself. "You and I have an arrangement, Jake. I gave you the wife your mother wanted. What I do in private is my business." Harvey smirked. "Guess the merger is off, Wilson." Jake looked at them both and felt nothing. Just vast emptiness where emotions should be. "Get out," he said quietly. "Both of you. Now." The divorce was spectacularly ugly. Mirabelle hired aggressive lawyers who painted Jake as cold, emotionally abusive, impossible to please. Every vulnerability he had shared with her, she weaponized. Every private moment became ammunition for public humiliation. The tabloids loved it. Billionaire's wife claims emotional neglect drove her to affair. Think pieces about the emptiness of loveless marriages among the elite. Jake's reputation took significant damage. His business suffered. Investors questioned his judgment. But worse than any of that was what the betrayal did to something inside him. It cracked him open, forced him to feel again, and once he started feeling, he could not stop. He thought about Anna constantly, the way she had looked that night, the rain in her hair, the devastation in her eyes when he called their love nothing. Her question haunted him. Tell me you never loved me. His lie echoed endlessly. It meant nothing. The truth he had never admitted, not even to himself. It had meant everything. Anna had been the only real thing in his life, and he had destroyed her because he was too weak to choose her over his mother's approval. Jake tried to find Anna 6 months after the divorce. He hired a private investigator, but every lead went cold. Her phone was disconnected. Her apartment was occupied by strangers. The bookstore where she had worked had no forwarding information. Anna Baker had vanished completely, erased herself from existence. Jake told himself it was for the best. She had probably moved on, found someone better, someone who deserved her. He tried to move on too, focused on rebuilding his business, tried to date, though every woman paled in comparison to the one he had lost. Then his mother had a stroke. June Wilson collapsed at a charity gala. One moment she was talking, the next she was on the floor, her face slack on one side. Jake rode in the ambulance, holding his mother's hand. She tried to speak, but could not form words. Terror filled her eyes. At the hospital, doctors explained, major ischemic stroke, right side paralysis, speech impairment. She would survive, but her life was fundamentally changed. Jake sat beside his mother's hospital bed for days, watching this woman who had always been so strong, so in control, reduced to someone who needed help with everything. June cried. Jake had never seen his mother cry. When she finally regained some speech, slurred and difficult, the first thing she did was confess. Jake, she managed to say, need tell you. Mom, rest. It can wait. No. Her good hand gripped his with desperate strength. Cannot wait. Might die. Need confess. You are not dying. Dying inside. June's tears flowed freely. Have been dying inside. Cannot meet God with this sin. What sin? Jake leaned closer, concerned. What June told him over the next hour, in broken fragments and slurred words, shattered Jake's understanding of everything. There had been a woman, Anna Baker, trying desperately to contact Jake after that night. Phone calls, emails, even showing up at his building. Pregnant. June's face twisted with shame. She was pregnant. With your child. Children. Twins. Jake's world stopped. What? June continued. Mia Patterson, his trusted assistant. June had paid her $75,000 to screen every call, block every email, turn Anna away every time. I destroyed you. June sobbed. Destroyed your happiness. Stole your children. All to protect the family name. Jake could not breathe. Anna had been pregnant. With twins, his children. She had tried to tell him, had reached out 17 times according to June's confession, and every attempt had been blocked by a conspiracy designed to keep him ignorant. Where is she now? Jake's voice did not sound like his own. Do not know. June's crying intensified. She vanished. I tried to find her later, when I realized what I had done, but she was gone. Jake stood up, walked out of the hospital room, made it to the parking lot before he vomited. He had children, twins, growing up somewhere without knowing their father existed. Because June had interfered, because Mia had been paid to lie, because Jake had been too much of a coward to call Anna himself after that night. He drove to Mia Patterson's apartment at midnight, pounded on her door until she answered. Tell me about Anna Baker. Mia's composure cracked when she saw his face. Mr. Wilson, tell me everything. Now, Mia confessed. Every blocked call, every deleted email, Anna showing up at the building, begging security to let her up. The final phone call warning Anna of legal consequences. Your mother paid me to protect you, Mia said. That woman would have trapped you with a pregnancy, ruined everything. She was already pregnant. Jake's voice rose. You knew she was carrying my children, and you kept that from me. I made the hard choice so you would not have to. You stole my right to choose. Those were my children. My life. Jake fired her on the spot, threatened legal action if she ever spoke about Anna again. Then he went home and started searching. He hired the best private investigators money could buy. They searched nationwide, checked birth records, scoured social media, followed every possible lead. His sister Gabrielle joined the search when he told her everything. Mom did what? Gabrielle was horrified. She paid Mia to keep Anna away, to make sure I never knew about the pregnancy. Gabrielle started crying. I knew you loved Anna. I saw you happier with her than ever before or since. And I said nothing when Mom pushed you toward Mirabelle. We were all cowards, Jake said bitterly, and Anna paid the price. Months passed. Every lead went nowhere. Anna Baker had disappeared so completely it was like she had never existed. Jake became obsessed. He could not focus on work, could not think about anything except finding his children, meeting the twins, who would be almost 2 years old now. Missing 2 years of their lives felt like missing everything. Carlos Martinez, his second in command, called repeatedly with warnings about the business. We are losing ground. Investors are getting nervous. You need to come back. Let it fail, Jake said. None of it matters. This company is your life's work. No. My children are my life's work. I just did not know they existed. 6 months after June's confession, an investigator named Detective Morris called. Mr. Wilson, I think I found her. Jake's heart stopped. Where? Small coastal town called Haven's Rest. There is an Anna Baker who owns a business there. Cornerstone Books and Event Planning. That is her. Jake knew it in his bones. She loved books, had worked in a bookstore. There is more, sir, Morris continued. She has children. Twins. A boy and a girl. Age matches what we are looking for. Morris emailed a photograph. Jake opened it with shaking hands. Anna stood in front of a bookstore, smiling. She looked different. Stronger, more confident. Her hair was shorter. She wore practical clothes, and beside her, holding her hands, were 2 beautiful children. Even in the photograph, Jake could see himself in their faces. The boy had his nose. The girl had his serious expression. Both had his eyes. His children. His son and daughter. Jake stared at the photo until his vision blurred with tears. He had missed everything. Their births, their first steps, their first words, 2 years of their lives, gone forever, because of his mother's interference, because of his own fundamental cowardice. He was in his car within an hour, driving toward Haven's Rest, toward the family he never knew existed. Carlos called. Jake, you cannot just leave. We have board meetings. Handle them. There is a hostile takeover attempt. You need to be here. I have children, Carlos. Twins. I have never met them. Nothing else matters. He hung up, drove through the night, arrived in Haven's Rest at dawn. The town was small, quaint, fishing boats in the harbor, salt air and seagulls. Jake found Cornerstone Books easily, parked across the street, waited. 8:15, Anna appeared, walking down the street with 2 children. The boy bounced ahead, full of energy. The girl held Anna's hand, watchful and serious. Jake's heart stopped. His children, right there, real and alive and beautiful. He watched them pass, wanted to call out but could not make his voice work. Anna looked happy. The children looked loved. They were a complete unit that did not include him. Jake followed at a distance as Anna walked the twins to a small elementary school, watched her kneel down to hug them goodbye, saw the boy run inside fearlessly while the girl kissed Anna's cheek before following her brother. Anna stood outside the school for a moment, watching them go. Then she walked back toward the bookstore. Jake knew he should approach carefully, plan what to say, but he could not wait another second. He crossed the street and pushed open the bookstore door. A bell chimed. Anna looked up from behind the counter. Every emotion flashed across her face in rapid succession. Shock, pain, rage, Then a cold mask slammed into place. "Get out," she said. Her voice was quiet, but edged with steel. "Right now, before I call the police. Anna, please. I just need 5 minutes. You need nothing from me. Leave." "Now, those are my children," Jake said. The words came out, broken. "I saw them. I can see it. They are mine. Biology does not make you a father." Anna moved out from behind the counter. Her hands were shaking, but her voice was steady. "Being there makes you a father. Showing up when it matters makes you a father. You have done none of those things. I did not know they existed. My mother and my assistant conspired to keep you away from me, to make sure I never knew about the pregnancy. I do not care about your excuses or your family's conspiracies." Anna's fury broke through her control. "You abandoned me when I needed you most. You chose Mirabelle, chose your comfortable life, chose everything except me. And when I tried to tell you about the pregnancy, your people threatened me with legal action. I swear to you, I never knew. If I had known, if you had cared, you would have called me yourself after what you did to me." Anna stepped closer. "You could have checked to see if I was okay. You could have shown even the smallest amount of basic human decency. But you did not, because I was never real to you. That is not true. Then what was I, Jake? A distraction, right? That is what you called me in front of hundreds of people. So tell me, why should I let a man who called me a distraction anywhere near my children? Our children. No." Anna's eyes blazed. "My children. Mine. I carried them while you married someone else. I gave birth to them alone. I raised them through every hard night and scary moment. You gave up any right to them when you stood silent and let your family destroy me." Movement from the back of the store. 2 customers staring at the confrontation. Anna lowered her voice. "You need to leave. Right now, or I will call the police and tell them you are harassing me. I am their father. You are a stranger who happens to share their DNA." Anna walked to the door and opened it. "Get out of my store. Get out of my town. Go back to your life and leave us alone." Jake did not move. "I am not leaving Haven's Rest. I am not leaving them. Then I will get a restraining order so fast it will make your head spin." Anna's voice shook with rage barely contained. "I will make sure you cannot come within 1,000 feet of my children. Try me, Jake. See what happens when you push me." She stood, holding the door open, waiting. Jake walked out, but he did not get in his car and drive away. He rented a house 3 blocks from Anna's cottage, unpacked the single bag he had brought, and he began the long, impossible process of trying to earn the right to know his own children. Jake learned their routines through observation that probably crossed the line into stalking. Morning. Anna walked Nathan and Nala to school. They took the same route, past the bakery where they sometimes stopped for muffins, through the park where squirrels scattered at their approach. Jake watched from distances that made him hate himself, but he could not help it. He was memorizing everything about the children he had missed 2 years of knowing. Nathan was exactly like Jake had been as a child, fearless, energetic, constantly in motion. He would run ahead of Anna, then circle back, point at things, and ask questions Anna would patiently answer. Nala was more like Anna, thoughtful and observant. She held her mother's hand, studied everything before acting, protected her more impulsive brother from his own fearlessness. They were perfect, and they had no idea their father was watching them like a ghost haunting the edges of their lives. Anna noticed his presence within 2 days. She appeared at his rental house at dawn, fury barely controlled. "Stop following us. Stop watching my children like some kind of predator. You are scaring them." "I have not approached them," Jake said. "I have not spoken to them. I am just trying to understand who they are. They are none of your business." Anna's voice shook. "I built a life here where we are safe and happy. You have contaminated it just by being here. Leave, Jake. Go back to your city and your empire and let us live our lives. They are my children. Then you should have fought for me when it mattered." Anna's control shattered. "You should have been brave enough to stand up to your mother. You should have called me yourself after what you did. instead of letting your assistant threaten me. Every choice you made led to this moment where you are standing here claiming rights you gave up through your own cowardice. I know, Jake's voice broke. I know I failed you. Failed them. And I will spend the rest of my life regretting that. But I'm here now, and I am not leaving. If you do not leave voluntarily, I will make you leave legally. She left before he could respond. Jake knew he was approaching this wrong. He was acting like this was a business problem to solve through persistence. But Anna was not a deal to be negotiated. She was a woman he had devastated, and these were children he had never known. There was no shortcut through the damage he had caused. Jake hired a lawyer anyway, filed for paternity testing and visitation rights. The papers were delivered to Anna at the bookstore. That evening, she showed up at his door with fury blazing in her eyes. You are threatening me with lawyers? Really? I have a legal right to know my children. You have nothing. Anna's control was completely gone now. You want to take me to court? Fine. Let's go to court. Let's stand in front of a judge and I will testify about how you threw me away like garbage. How your assistant threatened me when I tried to tell you about the pregnancy. How I almost lost Nala because the stress of being abandoned and alone caused complications. Let's see what a judge says about your rights then. Jake felt the words like physical blows. You almost lost her? I was 6 months pregnant when I started bleeding. Anna's voice broke. The doctors said it was stress-induced. They put me on bed rest for 2 months. I lay there alone, terrified I was going to lose one or both of my babies with no one to help except my mother, who was already working 2 jobs to keep us afloat. Anna. Jake reached for her, but she jerked away. That is what your abandonment cost us. That is the reality of your choices. So do not stand there talking about your rights when you nearly killed my daughter through your neglect. I am so sorry. I do not want your apologies. I want you to leave us alone. But even as she said it, Mabel appeared. She had followed Anna from the bookstore. Anna, maybe you should hear what he has to say. Mabel's voice was gentle. Maybe the kids deserve. Do not. Anna whirled on her friend. Do not you dare tell me what my children deserve. I have given them everything. They do not need someone who will disrupt all of that just because he suddenly decided to play at being a father. Anna, I am not playing. Prove it. Anna's eyes filled with tears. Prove you are not going to disappear the moment this gets hard. Prove you actually care about them, and not just your guilt. How do I prove that when you will not let me near them? I do not know. But stalking us is not it. After they left, Jake sat alone and forced himself to confront the truth. He was handling this exactly wrong. The next day, he withdrew the legal petition. He wrote Anna a letter instead. Anna, I am sorry for the stalking, for the legal threats, for everything. You have every right to keep me away from Nathan and Nala. But if you ever change your mind, if you ever think they might benefit from knowing their father, I will be here. No pressure, no demands, just the truth that I love them even though I have never met them. And I love you even though I destroyed us. Jake. He left it at the bookstore and prepared to leave Haven's Rest. Then his phone rang at 2 a.m. This is Dr. Patricia Wells from Haven's Rest Memorial Hospital. I am calling because Anna Baker listed you as the children's father. Nathan has been admitted with acute appendicitis. He needs emergency surgery. Anna requested you be notified. Jake was in his car before the call ended. He found Anna in the surgical waiting room. Her face was pale and tear-streaked. Nala was asleep in her lap. Mabel sat beside her. When Anna saw Jake, something in her expression crumbled. They took him back 20 minutes ago. Her voice was barely above a whisper. He woke up screaming in pain. The doctor said his appendix was close to rupturing. If I had waited even another hour. She could not finish the sentence. Jake sat down carefully on her other side. He is going to be fine. Kids are resilient. He is 2 years old. Anna's voice broke. He is so small, and he was so scared, and I could not do anything except hold his hand while they put him under. You got him here in time. You saved his life. They sat in silence while minutes crawled past. I called you because I thought, Anna said quietly, that maybe he would want his father if something went wrong. That maybe you deserve to know if... She could not finish. Thank you. Jake's voice was rough with emotion. Whatever happens, whatever you decide after this, thank you for letting me be here. The surgeon emerged after an hour. The procedure was successful. Nathan was stable. They had removed the appendix before it ruptured. Anna sobbed with relief. Jake pulled her into his arms without thinking, and for one moment she let him. Then she pulled away. But something had shifted. You can see him, she said, when he wakes up, if you want. I want that more than anything. Word count check. Approximately 12,500 words for part 2. End of part 2. Nathan woke up groggy and confused. He looked around the hospital room until his eyes found Anna. Mama? I am right here, baby. Anna was at his side immediately. You had to have surgery, but you are going to be fine. Nathan's gaze drifted to Jake, standing at the foot of the bed. Who is that? Anna glanced at Jake, something vulnerable flickering across her face. That is your father, Nathan. He came because he was worried about you. I have a father? Nathan's eyes widened. Nala. We have a dad. Nala, who had been clinging to Mabel, perked up. She studied Jake with serious eyes that missed nothing. Why were you not here before? Her question was blunt, delivered with a 3-year-old's directness. Because I did not know you existed, Jake said honestly, kneeling to her level. And that is my fault. But I am here now, and I would like to be part of your lives, if you and your brother and your mama will let me. Nala considered this. Did you hurt Mama? Jake saw Anna stiffen. I hurt her very badly. She has every right to be angry with me. Are you going to hurt her again? I am going to try very hard not to. Nala processed this information with the seriousness she seemed to apply to everything. Okay, you can stay until Nathan feels better. Then we will decide if we like you. Despite everything, Jake felt his lips twitch. His daughter was clearly going to be the tougher critic. Over the next few hours, as Nathan recovered, Jake stayed. He read to his son in a quiet voice. He answered Nala's endless questions. He brought Anna coffee and food she barely touched. He did not make it about himself, did not push for more than Anna was willing to give. When Anna finally asked him to leave so she could rest with the kids, Jake squeezed her hand gently. Thank you for letting me be here. Anna studied his face for a long moment. The old Jake would never have let anything interfere with his business. I am not that man anymore. People do not change that fundamentally. Then watch me. Every single day, watch me prove you wrong. Anna did not respond, but she did not dismiss him either, and Jake took that as the smallest possible opening, the opening that would lead to supervised visits, to slowly learning his children, to proving through consistent action that he had changed, to the long, difficult journey of trying to earn back what his cowardice had destroyed. But that is a story that will continue, because some things cannot be rebuilt quickly. Some trust takes years to earn back. And Anna Baker had learned the hard way that words meant nothing. Only actions, repeated consistently over time, had any value at all. If this story has moved you, if you believe in second chances but only when they are earned through real change, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment. Tell me where you are watching from. Do you think Jake can earn his way back? Do you think Anna should give him a chance? Say I'm with you, Dr. Phillips, and let me know you are still here with me on this journey. Because love is not about grand gestures, it is about showing up every single day, even when it is hard, especially when it is hard. And that is exactly what Jake Wilson was about to learn.